That Aikido is not an effective martial art is becoming widely known. In the past, it was easier to hide this fact, since there was no World Wide Web, and also functional martial arts were not yet on the rise to go toe-to-toe with other martial arts and prove their ineffectiveness.
Okay. Guy says straight up, right off the bat, Aikido is not an effective martial art. So, decidedly, MMA has sort of put in the zeitgeist that MMA is the only effective martial art. They're getting in there and brawling with some various techniques that's the only thing that's happening. The people who are real actual practitioners of no bullshit real martial arts, they don't get out and put their stuff on display. And it's also, Aikido is not a sport, and it's part of their philosophy is that this is not supposed to be ego driven. They talk about the human family, the greater human family, and you're supposed to, the objective of Aikido is to defend yourself without actually hurting somebody, without actually fucking them up. That's the whole objective of Aikido. So talking about Aikido as not being an effective art is not necessarily fair. It's very effective depending on who the practitioner is and what their level of commitment is. So, I don't know, maybe this is a meme they're trying to put out there. Maybe Aikido is actually very effective and that they don't really want everybody out there practicing it. Because it's good at gun and knife takeaways and stuff like that. And, but yeah, if you're going up against a boxer, yeah, they're going to retract that. He goes into this whole thing about fist retraction and about the speed that they practice. And how slow it is, and that it's very slow and genteel.
It's difficult to imagine in realistic violence scenario. Having all this violence, it is very direct, brutal, and distinctly different from the aesthetic.
These guys he's teaching. So, and the teaching process takes a long time. So the UK, the guy on the ground here, you're trying to teach the guy how to perform the technique, and so classes are always very, they're slow, and you're showing somebody how to slowly do these techniques. But if this guy was to do this particular technique right here at speed, this guy's chin would bounce off the floor, and this technique right here,
almost polite versions of Aikido, which are sometimes difficult to imagine in realistic violence scenarios.
He's trying to show the guy
having all this violence in Seagal's performed Aikido moves on screen definitely makes a better impression on many people.
That shit hurts.
His movie techniques also include a range of
punches. That's no bullshit. Having somebody wrench your arm. This deal right here. They make it look really. He's doing it lightly. He's not really. You know what I mean? This thing right here. You can't really see it because let's back it up a little bit.
Which are sometimes difficult to imagine.
Here. Okay. So this looks really tame, right? And you will see, I've seen MMA guys and they'll try to move around this way and stuff like that. When somebody really knows what they're doing and they put that technique on, like the way he's going to do it where he pushes down on the thing, if you do it at speed and all that stuff, you'll wrench that dude's arm right out of the socket. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling. Now, this one here, yeah, somebody who's really into MMA and stuff like that, and they can take a lot of pain, they're used to taking a lot of pain, or they practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and stuff like that, I don't know if I'd necessarily go for this one. What's that, an Ikkyo technique, something like that? I think that's Ikkyo. Or maybe it's Nikkyo. Maybe that's a Nikkyo hold. I don't remember my Ikkyos and Nikkos. Anyway, let's look at a different one here. Let me see if I can see it.
Aikido, which are sometimes difficult to imagine in realistic violence scenarios.
So that one,
having all this violence in Seagal's performed Aikido moves on screen definitely makes a better impression on many people.
Right.
His movie techniques also include a range of punches and kicks, which are oftentimes consist of retraction.
If you're gonna practice Aikido, you're not gonna practice it for 2 days and go out and expect to really actually perform against some marauding dude who's coming at you who knows how to box. It just ain't happening. You know what I mean? If you're gonna like actually use that shit in a practical situation, you need to have practiced it for a long time and be able to actually, do the flow. Aikido Flow is a channel on here somewhere. I don't have time to look them up. You just Google Aikido Flow or look them up on YouTube. That guy practices Aikido. He's a bouncer, and they talk about practical elements of the martial art. And it's enormously practical, otherwise people wouldn't do it. But, marauding, somebody who's flying at you in a flurry of punches and kicks and stuff like that, you got to get down to the root of Aikido, which is the dynamic sphere, which is getting somebody to using a small amount of energy to overstroke somebody, and to take things away from them or redirect their energy. And at speed, it's lethal. It's terrible. Aikido is terrible. And you can really fuck somebody up. That's why, MMA, it's kind of sort of, you know what I mean? There's stuff they don't do because they know if they did it, somebody would get so badly hurt that they might die or they might, not be able to fight ever again. And that's just not the objective of MMA, just like it's not the objective, because it's a professional sport, right? Just like the NFL is a professional sport. The reason that people get their heads banged in a lot in the NFL is because you don't tackle somebody around their legs, because their legs are their money. See? Same thing with MMA. Box, hit somebody in the face a whole bunch of times. Yeah, that's not good for your brain. It really isn't. It's not good for your brain. But Jesus, if you fucking, you're able to tap out. If somebody comes at you at speed and you perform an Aikido technique on them at speed when they're flying at you, right, and you break their shit, there's no time to tap out. The arm's already broken. The leg's already, you know what I'm saying? Their neck is already fucked up. They're already fucked up. There's no time to tap out. It's just like with Kung Fu. Real Kung Fu guys, real Shaolin Kung Fu practitioners that have been practicing their whole lives, their bodies are like made of iron. No bullshit, no fucking around. Real beans, man. Real bean stuff. Hapkido practitioners and stuff like that. And real Aikido practitioners. They're just no fucking around, no bullshit, lethal motherfuckers. You know what I mean? They don't fuck around with MMA, because MMA is all about your ego and all about for show and stuff like that. So it's just not a fair discussion at all, period. You know what I mean? You're not going to see anybody go out and show their actual real no bullshit techniques in a venue like this, because they don't want their actual no bullshit techniques being used by nefarious motherfuckers. That's another thing. So, I appreciate where this guy is coming from, man, but to just come out and say, hey, Aikido's not, yeah. Maybe that's what they're trying to do, is they're really trying to dissuade nefarious motherfuckers from practicing Aikido. Because Aikido was designed to be a compassionate form of martial art to begin with. You're not really supposed to break somebody's shit. That's not what it's for. And it was born, Aikido was a fusion of there's Daito-ryu, Aikijitsu, and stuff like that, so that's an offshoot. But it was formed from Jiu-Jitsu and Judo and some other stuff. Aikido, sword play, which is, that's another crucial thing. There's a lot of weapon training in Aikido. Bow-and-jo training and sword training and stuff like that. And it fits in. It fits in with the fucking hand-to-hand techniques and stuff. It's deep. It's really for your... Martial arts are really for your soul, or really for your spirit. And for your health. Your spiritual health. So, it's not really... Saying it's an ineffective, martial art. I don't know, maybe there's a good reason to, to go out there and say that. Maybe there really is. To keep all the, marauders out there doing their marauding techniques. Yeah, maybe that's really the idea, But I gotta tell you, my memory is, if my memory serves me correctly, there have, There are bad people out there that have used martial arts techniques over the years to do, to go to war with like the police and stuff. So maybe there's like a big PR campaign out there to not really, to dissuade, nefarious people out there from engaging in real actual martial arts. That could be, So, hey, whatever, if that's, I don't know. There's a lot of, there's a lot of law enforcement types on these self-defense channels and stuff like that. And nefarious people, man, they watch that stuff. They do. They watch that stuff and they practice a certain amount of martial arts. But, to be good at any martial art takes a certain amount of self-discipline. It takes years. It takes years of dedication and really thinking about what you're doing. Shit ain't easy. And yeah, you ain't gonna go up against no marauding dude with some Aikido thing that you haven't, some half-baked Aikido thing that you really haven't thought out. You better know what the soul of Aikido is before you go up against somebody like this right here. Who is that, Mike Tyson?
Acting the punch, and it is simply unnatural to leave the arm sticking out there after striking.
It's unnatural. And the reason that they leave the arms this is another thing. He's talking about leaving.
Even an untrained attacker wouldn't do.
In
Aikido, sticking the arm after a couple of strikes are thrown, the attacker just...
The people have their arms sticking out, and he says, well, that's unrealistic that the arm wouldn't be sticking out. Well, no, it's not if you're moving that slow, but if you're moving at speed, the reason that arm is still sticking out there is because in the microseconds that it takes for you to perform the technique, dude hasn't had time to retract his arm. You're already inside. And if you're going from here to right here in microseconds, this dude right here is in a whole world of pain. And he's going down. He's going down and he's going, what the fuck? I'm telling you. So his arm is sticking out, not because he's leaving it out there, but because he hasn't had time to retract. And they do it like that to let you know that this is the position that you're going to be in. This is the flow, this is how the thing is going to look if you use a slow motion camera and slow it down. But this is because the guy hasn't had time to retract his hand yet. And yeah, we're talking about milliseconds, not even microseconds. And, the microseconds that it would take for somebody some actual real guy to retract his fist, that's where you would be. And the arm would still be out there because you're going to get here in microseconds. That's how fast that's going to go down. And that thing, this elbow hook going into your jaw like that, into your neck, and taking you down where his leg is right now, your ass is going over. That's all there is to it. So all of the takedowns and stuff like that. Let's see what we got here. Here's another one. So yeah, see how this guy's hand is resting right here? It's because he's showing these guys the technique. But if he did that at speed, this dude's hand would not be sitting here. He's sitting here with his hand on his leg because he's thinking about what's happening. He's processing the lesson. So this is just not a fair thing. Who knows? Maybe the guy, maybe Steven Seagal really is full of shit. Who knows, right? I don't think so, though, because I've had these techniques performed on me. I've been in prison. I've talked to real guys that actually practice Aikido, actual nefarious, sometimes nefarious. They're really not bad. Good people actually do end up in prison. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But there's a guy that I talked to, and the guy used to run every morning. One cold morning, he ran so far that it was like steam rising up. Like high up off of this guy. There was steam rising 6 feet up off of this dude. It was the most amazing thing. He was sweating his ass off and just steam just rising up on it. And the guy knew Aikido. And he would talk about how the jiu-jitsu guys, he was always frustrating the jiu-jitsu guys. They didn't know what to do with him because he knew these techniques, And So, I'm just going to call bullshit on this. You know, everybody likes to crack on Steven Seagal, likes to pull Steven Seagal's chain. And I'm not all buddy with Steven Seagal or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to swap spit with the dude or anything like that. I don't necessarily agree with everything that comes out of the guy's mouth, but, you know, fair is fair. The guy's a badass. I mean, it's just all there is to it. You can tell. Anybody who's actually, like, been around, and you watch how Steven Seagal moves in that straight line thing with his back, and with the power in him, it's a real deal, man. That's no bull, you know, real beans. Steven Seagal is the real shit, the real deal. No doubt about it. So, yeah, it's fun to make a channel and talk about how, oh, Steven Seagal, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't really know his eye. It's exposing Steven Seagal, the great pretender, and all that fucking bullshit. You know? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I mean, yeah. Sure. You know? Whatever gets you views, man. 3.1 million views on this thing up here. Talking about exposing Steven Seagal, the great pretender. You know? I want to see this guy. I tell you, I want to see this guy go up toe-to-toe with Steven Seagal. I don't care where you do it. I want to see you go toe-to-toe with any of these motherfuckers. I want to see this guy here. Michael Williams. I want to see you go toe-to-toe with Steven Seagal and see what's up. The man, I'm telling you, the man's the real deal. That hand right there, those fucking hands are probably, shit, you wouldn't know what hit you. Be like a freight train hitting your skull. That man's hand right there, you can tell. Look at that man's hand right there. You say, oh, that ain't anybody's hand right there. No, I'm looking at that guy's fucking hand right there. That motherfucking hand right there hit you like a freight train. You wouldn't know what hit you. Anywhere on your body. And whatever, you know, I don't like that, you know, the thing with the Russians, man, you know, geez, he's in a bad spot with that. You know, I don't even, you know, I shouldn't even really comment on that. I don't even know what to think about that. I'm not real keen on what's up with the Russians lately, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're just trying to get along, right? Get it, you know what I'm saying? They get, you know, it's a big world out there, you know what I'm saying? I don't really want to, you know, I don't really, he's like, you know, fucking Vladimir Putin is, you know, he's whatever he's got going on, you know. He just needs to cool it. Vladimir Putin, you know, life would be a lot better for the Russian people if you just fucking cool it, man. Americans have always been here for you, for the Russian people. You know, the dirty little secret is American people really like Russians. We do. You know, I mean, we get it, man. The Russian mafia and stuff, you guys, badass, you know, and all that, you know, and stuff. But we really like Russians. We do, and always have for years, since forever. Since the 50s, 60s. Russians are these, like, bubbly, you know, neat people. They're survival, you know, they're tough. You know, they improvise, adapt, and overcome. You know, I mean, they're those kind of people. They're jolly about it. They're jolly about it. They're these upbeat, happy, nice people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't want to get on their bad side. You know what I'm saying? Because Russians they don't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm just saying. Whenever the Russians have had a problem, you know, subsinks or whatever, or they need help. Whenever they've needed help, down through the years, America's been there for them. So, you know, Vladimir Putin, I don't know what he's got going on, but, you know, just from a sideline standpoint, maybe he just needs to cool it. Just cool it. You know, just cool it, man. We'll be cool. Everybody will be cool. Just cool it. Stop trying to, you know, take over the world and shit. You know what I mean? Just cool it. We got you. It's all good. You got the oil business. Oil business is, you know, everybody just cool it. Everybody be cool. Well, it'll be all right. You know. So that's all. Steven Seagal. He's a Buddhist, you know, and half his movies ripping somebody's eyeball out and shit. Yeah, I don't know what to think of stabbing somebody in the forehead with a fucking 10-inch blade and shit, you know. So, but whatever. Hey, you know, whatever. I don't want to pick on Steven Seagal. You know what I'm saying? Because he's, you know, he's not a bad human being. I don't get that he's a bad human being. You know, and the soul of Aikido is a compassionate soul. You know what I mean? So that's all I got. This is felonious AI. Felonious, not nefarious, by the way. I might be felonious, but I'm not nefarious. I'm not nefarious. You know what I mean? I don't believe in robbing, stealing, and fucking people up. I believe in peace, love, and joy, and humanity. So let's love each other out there, man. Be good neighbors, and just remember, Aikido, by the way, yeah, you can fuck somebody up with Aikido, but the spirit of Aikido is compassion. Bottom line, it is. And that's it. Nefarious, non-nefarious, felonious AI. That's all I got. See you. Bye.